Action. What's up, Arizona? This is sports. I'm your boy Derek, Arizona, Washington.
And you already know, coming straight from you, from the West Coast, Midwest, Arizona, southern border of Mexico. Bird Gang in the building, baby. Lynn Jackson rocking the house. What do we say? What can we say? Hey, but also, I want to let you guys know, I have a very special guest with me for the first time that you guys will be able to see in person with me hanging out. And you're going to see him a lot more. This is Tim Nemeth, three-time world champion, about to be inducted into the National Hall of Fame. Tim.
How you doing?
Oh, good. And good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I mean, we just threw this on you the last second, so right, I appreciate you coming out and just enjoying this. I'm going to get back to you in a second. I got one job to take care of real quick. Back to you, Derek. Don't you have something to say?
Thanks, Tim. Welcome to the show.
Nice to be here.
But I will say congratulations to the #1 superfan for calling the Arizona Cardinals blood pressure this year. Okay, so my man said there was no fear that my man Kyler Murray deserved the highest paid quarterback of all ever in this title. And I was like, I don't know, man, because of what happened last year. It seemed like my man was going to quit on us, and it's not the philosophy or spirit we need down here in Arizona. However, last game they got an opportunity to focus or fold. They could have easily went home like, hey, you know what? We were down. We were out of town. It was this. It was that other thing. But no. They came back and they kicked some behind, man. Okay, so you called it, man. Congratulations. I'll give you this.
Thank you for the props. Okay. Thank you for the props.
What were the takeaways from the win?
Come on now. So here's the thing that you're going to actually look at. If you actually study the game of football and you know exactly what technique and how each and every player is supposed to perform and how they're supposed to react, there's no way in Hades that you cannot select Kyler Murray as one of the top quarterbacks in this country. Kyler Murray just proved this past weekend exactly why he got paid $244 million. You realize he had the ball for almost I think they counted it down like a minute and 48 seconds in which they could pour a cup of coffee, add cream and sugar, and take their first drink. That's how long he had the ball.
Amazing.
Not only did he turn the game around, but he won it for us. So when it's all said and done, do you still question who should be the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals? Because I don't, and I never did. I stand behind our quarterback. If you look at the history and what he did and how he performed when he was at Oklahoma playing for the Sooners, he was an elite quarterback. In fact, that's why we chose him as the #1 draft choice. There's no way nobody should have anything else to say about this quarterback. When we lost against Kansas City, the biggest difference that you'll see is this. I told everybody, we had 7 players, starters, that were completely out of that game. Kansas City had all of their starters. Okay, wham, call your cry, whatever you want to say. They should have still won. You're absolutely right. But also take away this. We didn't have one of the key offensive left tackles in the game playing for us like we did against the Raiders this past weekend. Huge difference. Makes a lot more difference in time and everything else. But when it was said and done, you still seen our offensive line crumble. But that elite quarterback that everybody talked about in this country, he showed his stride, and he showed why he's worth every penny he got. That's why I love my Cardinals. So, with that being said, what do you think about that performance?
Well, I'll tell you, to be honest, I was traveling down here to Phoenix.
Oh, that's right. He was coming back from Canada.
Yeah, coming back from Canada, so missed the game. But from what I've heard from everybody in town here, they put on a show at the end of that game, and pulled it out and came home with a V.
Now, you're the 3-time world national champion. I know you've seen all kinds of things in your life. How do you feel about your boy, the guy you're sitting next to, the one you go fishing with, the one you hang out with, the one we have dirt on, is a super fan for the Cardinals?
Well, it's really strange. I mean, when you tell the audience how in the heck we even met. Under the freeway in a puddle. Like, what are we doing down here?
Right. Right.
Pretty fun stuff right there, Len. Yeah, it was
You know, Tim was in Canada, and while he was in Canada, I started sending him some of the pictures right when we started in preseason and stuff like that. One of the things I love about true diehard Cardinal fans is they just open up their hearts and they're so loving and caring. And he was like, send me more. He's like, in fact, my ex-wife wants to see this. So it's great to have Tim. Now, I have to ask you, since you're about to be inducted into the National Hall of Fame, what can you say and where was the best place that you ever raced?
Boy, it's pretty tough question. They're all a lot of fun. You know, every event that we went to, you know, they were all a lot of fun. But I think the most fun we ever had is in Bakersfield, California, at the March meet or the Hot Rod Reunion. And the March meet's in March, obviously, and the Hot Rod Reunion's in the fall. But those two races are, you know, the most competitive, toughest races on the planet to win in nostalgia funny car racing. You know, it's it's hard to, you go in there with the best intentions, but there's so many competitors out there that it's tough, and every one of them, any one of those guys that are out there can win that race. It's just a matter of some of the luck you got you're carrying with you, and your crew. I mean, they're probably the most important people out there.
Yeah, but you're a 3-time world champion. What separates you from the rest?
Well, I mean, it's the people you have around you. And I'm the first one to tell you that you can't. Anybody that thinks they can do that, win big races on their own, is just blowing smoke up your butt. And it takes a team, takes people, getting prepared to get to the track. I mean, there's just so much involved in running a nostalgia funny car that it's just it's a lot of work and dedication. Everybody involved. Yeah.
Well,
go ahead if you don't mind. So from a lane, so I know nothing about racing or anything like that. So from a expert point of view, translate the difficult challenges from everyday driving to your type of driving. Some people would say race car drivers, and
to get in a nitromethane powered funny car, I mean, just to fire that car up, you get strapped in there, get that car fired up, and just sitting in there is more. Just sitting there is more than most people can handle right there. I mean,
the jets kick in.
You're strapped down in there so tight that
we gotta take it.
Breathing.
Can we go drive?
I already did it.
Get a seat, man.
I'm like, I'm already in it. I'm gonna have my birthday hat on. I'll be like, Birdman.
And the big thing is, and they put that body down in the car, and the guys pulling you up to the starting line. I mean, they're all jacked, ready to rock, and they get you pulled up there, and when you high side the fuel system on that car and bump it in, at that point all bets are off, and
sorry about our extra gas.
I mean, the cars, they accelerate so fast. I mean, my car would go 600 feet would be 210 mile an hour, 600 feet. So they're pulling pretty hard.
I can't even imagine.
I know.
And
I'm gonna have to get in and find out.
Not for the faint of heart. I mean, you'll get hurt.
So I got another layman question before I pass it back. In funny car, what does funny mean? What's funny about this situation?
Well, how that all started was way back in the day. Guys were building cars, and obviously they're a chassis, and then they got an engine in them, which most of the time was Chrysler powered, but the bodies weren't Chrysler. They were Ford, they were this, they were that, and so that's the other word. That's why they were funny.
I got you. It makes sense now.
Yeah, so that's kind of where that come from.
Thank you.
One of the I was listening to you while we were at the house earlier, sitting by the pool, and we were talking, and one of the things that you brought up is how, with your hands, that you can create the most powerful machine to hit the road. Can you elaborate that on a little bit?
Well, it's just you're working with parts. Excuse me, they're all engineered parts, and they're all Hemi-based engines, which means cylinder heads are hemispherical, a little bit opposing valves, and they just make a lot of power. And you throw nitromethane in there with that mix, with all that billet aluminum parts, and chrome moly this and chrome moly that. You're able to, to build something that can make a 5-second run at 260 miles an hour, 270 miles an hour, and hold together. That just being able to build that piece by piece, engineer it, and take it to the track and have some fun. It was just.
What would you say is the top speed that you ever hit?
My funny car, we run a 550 ET at 260 mile an hour.
And that's in a quarter
Mile, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Yeah. And so we were fortunate enough to win some races, and it's just been a fun career. Yeah.
With it being a fun career and you're being inducted into the Hall of Fame, what are you going to choose to do next?
Damn, I want to go racing. I'm just, COVID was just horrible,
Right.
and it just it put a lot of teams back in the shop, mine included, and you got a bunch of guys that you not only just always grew up with, but you spent a lot of time together. That team is what makes it. The work that we get with our sponsors and my companies, and making it happen is one thing, but to get that vehicle to the track and be safe so that I can get in that thing and mash that throttle pedal, it's that team, and it's team spirit, for sure.
I got another question, another 2 questions. So what is your favorite modern car and classic car?
Vintage. I'm a Mopar guy, so you put me like I've got a 1934 Dodge suicide door rat rod. That's kind of one of my favorites. Nice. But I'm a Mopar guy.
Okay.
So a 70 Challenger,
of course,
a CUDA, 70 CUDA, big block stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a Hemi guy, so it's got to have a Hemi in it.
Okay.
But that's just how I grew up.
Yeah. Like modern cars,
And modern car. Well, right now I'm working on some kit stuff.
Really?
Which a lot of people can't really afford.
Yeah.
Really supercars, Bugattis, and the high-end Ferraris and so on. So there's a company out there that's building a kit. It builds a body.
I didn't know that.
And I don't even know if I can actually,
You might better relate some of these.
I know, right?
Some of these details.
So everybody's wanting to sign up right now for information.
It fits on a Nissan.
I'm the booker.
It fits on a Nissan body, a chassis car, and the name of the car starts with a V. I can tell you that.
Is it electric
you're kidding
primarily?
me.
No, it's gas powered.
It's gas
Yeah,
powered.
yeah.
Okay. V,
Yeah,
we'll
high
look out for
octane,
it.
high octane gas powered. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Tim, for coming on and getting
Absolutely. No. It's
Well,
absolutely.
you guys, I really appreciate you having me, and it's been a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
a lot of people. It's great to be back home in Phoenix.
All the family.
I know,
Can
right?
I get a high five on camera, bro?
Of
That's
course,
what's up, man.
you already
I just
know.
high five the Hall of Fame, bro.
I know, right?
Come on. Okay,
Raise the
guys.
roof.
For this time, that's What's Up Arizona. I'm Derek, Arizona, Washington.
Lynn Jackson, Arizona, and Tim.
Next time-
Tim from Blind Bay, British Columbia, Canada.
Until next time, be awesome.
Deuces.
All right, great job.
What's Up Sports with Derek A.Z. Washington and Lynn Jackson.
High five. Hall of Fame.